We joked about this yesterday. This is just sad. Like, Baker Mayfield just predictably, all of it in his feelings, basically writing a goodbye letter to Cleveland Browns fans. And all I'm going to say is, man, I told you, Baker and the Browns been breaking up, okay? Baker and the Browns is Harold Melvin and the Brunos. If you don't know me by now, you will never, ever, ever know me, okay? This dude he played in his 5th-year option year. He ain't the guy. Before Deshaun Watson became an option for Cleveland. Before they went public with their pursuit of Deshaun Watson. And so the least surprising development was to find out, oh yeah, Cleveland's done with Baker anyway. Well, first of all, Cleveland can't keep a relationship with a quarterback. But
that's right.
I said it before and I'll say it again. It's time to just kiss and say goodbye. You know what I mean? Like, this is over. So, Michael, I'm trying to figure out what the best team, what the best fit is for Baker Mayfield, because he's got 1 year left on his contract. If Cleveland wouldn't commit, again, their history with quarterbacks notwithstanding, if Cleveland wouldn't commit, if Cleveland is moving on from you, why should I follow myself to A, trade for you, and B, pay you? And for whom is he that much of an upgrade? You know? I would say poor Baker, but it's just like, dude, you're out here writing letters. It just goes to show you that, you know, at one point Odell Beckham was the bad guy. This dude, and you know, everybody thought that they finally got it right a couple of years ago with this revolving door at quarterback in Cleveland. This dude in Cleveland, they've been toxic for a long time. They've been toxic for a long time. You know, they've been like ruined jewels in Euphoria. I don't know if you watch Euphoria. That's a rocky relationship right there.
Everybody I know watches Euphoria. I got to get on the bandwagon. I got to tell you, I'm thinking about your question. The right fit.
The right fit? Yeah.
For Baker Mayfield long term, going forward. All right, let me tell you. I know this city pretty well. Once upon a time, it had a river on fire, the Cuyahoga River. Paul Brown started the franchise. They've never really had a logo on their helmet. And in the suburbs of Cleveland, there's a town actually appropriately called Mayfield Heights. So look, this is the best place for him, whether they realize it or not. Look, I think Baker Mayfield, if we're having this conversation at the end of the 2020 season, people are saying, what's the problem? 2020 gives them their first playoff win in 26 years over the Steelers in Pittsburgh.
I remember that
night. They go to Kansas City in a divisional playoff.
Yeah.
And they played pretty well. They had a chance. Came down to fourth down. Chad Henne, not Patrick Mahomes. Chad Henne making a fourth down play for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah.
The problem is very few people, everybody remembers the Odell Beckham Jr. drama with Baker and Odell Beckham Sr. But week 2, this comes back to week 2. Week 2 of the 2021 season, non-throwing shoulder. I think this guy was banged up. Cleveland probably got too much preseason hype. I was guilty of it too. I thought they were going back to the playoffs. I thought they were right there with Buffalo. And so it was like it was injuries, it was unrealistic expectations. It's like any other season. Yeah, you don't just you can't just pick up 2020, drop it into 2021 and expect it's going to be in a vacuum and everybody around you is not getting better. Nothing else is changing. Things change every season. I think Baker Mayfield.
Maybe it's not just all on him. Maybe it was a convergence thing.
He is,
but I mean, can we also just acknowledge that he might not be that good? Maybe he's just not that good.
No.
What about that?
He is good. He's a good quarterback. He's not a great one. He's a good quarterback. And for a number 1 pick, what you want is everybody. Number 1 pick in the draft this year. Jacksonville thinks he's going to get a Hall of Fame player. He's not a Hall of Fame player. He's a good quarterback. And maybe they're not.
Is he though? Is he though?
He's a good quarterback. Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah.
Okay. You know what this sounds like? You know what this sounds like? We'll run this back after a while. When 2-3 teams from now, we'll run this back, and you'll be like, "My bad." Same as you were the other day with Carson Wentz. This is your new Carson Wentz. You caping up a Carson Wentz in Philly, and you're caping up a Baker Mayfield in Cleveland. Maybe Baker Mayfield ain't that good. You know what Baker Mayfield is to me? Baker Mayfield is pumpkin pie. I prefer sweet potato pie. Every day and twice on Sunday, especially on holidays.
Pumpkin pie's good.
But I'll settle for pumpkin pie if I just really got to have pie.
Not for me.
Okay,
not for me.
And your quarterback gets all emo, writing a letter because the team is pursuing an upgrade from you, bruh. It's like this is so on brand for Baker, and there are too many apologists, honestly, for Baker. There's a fine line, Michael, between being fair and being an apologist. And maybe you're being more fair, so this may not apply to you. Maybe I'm talking to people who try to make excuses for Baker Mayfield, like he's a second coming. Maybe he just ain't that good. He's been wildly inconsistent. I know he's been.
That's the problem.
Okay. Well, he's treated with kid gloves. Let me rephrase it. He's treated with kid gloves. Okay, maybe he was overdrafted. Fine, whatever you want to call it. All right, but miss me with your Dear John letter or whatever your goodbye letter. Okay, that I've given everything to this city. Yeah, but it ain't been good enough. So they went out and looked for a better quarterback. And even if that guy ain't Deshaun Watson, my point is you could do a lot better than Baker Mayfield. So
can you?
I look at the rest of the
wait.
Yes, you can.
So
yes, you can.
So
I look at the rest of the landscape of the NFL, and I don't see a team that should be falling over itself to acquire Baker Mayfield under these circumstances just to bring this full circle.
Right. Okay, but all right. So you told me earlier this week you were excited about Mitch Trubisky. So you talked about Mitch Trubisky
completely.
As if
oh my God,
he's a good.
The last segment. The last segment. No, that is whack. What you did. The last segment, you accused me of a false equivalency. You accused me of. What does Mitchell Trubisky have to do with this?
I mean, I ask you this. If you let me finish, then you'll see that it's not. It's not an equivalency. It's a question. Do you think Mitch Trubisky is a good quarterback? I'm just trying to figure out what's good for you, and I'm asking. You
finished?
Give me solid good quarterback. Is it above Trubisky? Is it below Trubisky?
Okay, you finished? Because I already knew where you were going, which is to move the goalposts like you like to do. Okay, Mitchell Trubisky on a 2-year deal as a bridge quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm not comparing Baker Mayfield.
I know. Pick a quarterback,
know that,
Mike.
But pick another quarterback.
That's a quarterback. You asked me to pick a quarterback. Here's the funny thing. You moved the goalpost. You told me to pick
I didn't bring up Mitchell Trubisky. I didn't bring up Mitchell Trubisky.
I picked Mitch Trubisky. I did. I picked him up.
Okay, now if you let me finish. If you let me finish now, my point was, if you could pick any quarterback and play that game, is he better than this guy, this guy, this guy? The other day we disagreed on whether Mitchell Trubisky was better than Mason Rudolph, okay? Which ain't even a real argument to be having. So you bring up Mitchell Trubisky in the context. You bring up Mitchell Trubisky. You're about to derail. You're about to distract me. You bring up Mitchell Trubisky in the context of Baker Mayfield, okay? A 2-year deal to go to Pittsburgh as a reclamation project with Mitch Trubisky.
I'm not talking
what
about
does that have to do with
Mike. I'm just talking about his talent. Okay.
Can I finish?
All right, you said you could do a lot. You said I can do it. You said you can do a lot better than Baker.
So do me a favor. The next time you say let me finish, just remind yourself that we do this to each other. But go ahead. Complete your thought. All right. It's not. I'm not the only one that interjects or interrupts on this show. But go ahead.
All right. Yeah, that's true. Don't answer that. Deshaun Watson Deshaun Watson quarterback, clearly a better fit for the Browns than Baker Mayfield. But he may not be available. As a matter of fact, chances are he's not available to you. He's available. He's not available to you. You're probably 4th on the list or 5th or 6th.
That's a good assumption on your part.
Okay. All right. So of available quarterbacks, you could do a lot better than Baker Mayfield. So like who? Who? It's hard. Jimmy Garoppolo?
No. That's a fair question if you're looking at the landscape of the league and the guys who are left as free agents. That's a fair question to ask. How much better are the available free agents? Tyrod Taylor just went to New York, for example, and he was already in Cleveland, so that doesn't count. But I use that as an example. Like the guy, that's a really good signing for New York. The guys that are on the list are no longer there. Hell, if you're the here's one. I'll give you a comp. I'll give you a comp, and maybe I'm guilty of what I've already accused you of. Carson Wentz. I wonder if the Commanders knew of Baker Mayfield's availability and chose Carson Wentz over Baker Mayfield, because those dudes are kind of more or less what and what as far as I'm concerned. Okay, like I wouldn't say Baker Mayfield is definitely better than Carson Wentz. I think he's in that pantheon, in that category. But okay, head and shoulders. How much better than Carson Wentz is Baker Mayfield?
Not head and shoulders, but I'm thinking
okay.
I'm thinking
and
about
it doesn't have
his
to be head and
talents.
shoulders.
And I'm thinking about it, speaking of shoulders, I'm thinking about his shoulder. I mean, the guy really played with a torn labrum the entire year. And okay, was that good or bad for Cleveland? Maybe some people say he should have sat down and given it, let Case Keenum go in there. And at least a healthy Case Keenum is better than a banged up Baker Mayfield. That's a really good argument. I like Case Keenum as a backup and as a borderline starter. I don't think he's that bad. But I think his toughness, I think his ability to make plays and not
you
to
like
be
Baker Mayfield. Okay.
I like Baker Mayfield more than Carson Wentz.
Well, but
Baker
it sounds
a better quarterback.
and this is fine. And you sound like you like Baker Mayfield in general.
And intangibles are a big part of it too. Now, would I pick him? I would say
that's what I would question more than anything. But okay.
Out of 32 teams, 32 starting quarterbacks, I think he's right in the middle. I think he's right in the middle. He's probably like, give him, if I'm being charitable, it's 14. 14 out of 32. 15 out of 32.
No, you get the 14 fast. Hey.
Do you? Okay.
Let me say this. You said can you do better? Honestly, it's a moot point. Or can you really do better? You question whether you can really do better, Baker Mayfield.
Cleveland probably
won't. Even be a moot point.
He's going to be the quarterback. He's going to be the quarterback
but it might even be a
2022.
No, he won't. No, he won't. Baker Mayfield? He's gone. Yeah. That's the whole point. He's gone. He's been gone. It's accelerated by this Deshaun Watson sweepstakes. He's gone. You can't come back from this. But let me say this to you. The bottom line is, even if in a vacuum, you might not be able to do better, they're not going to commit to him long term. And you're going to bring him back as a lame duck quarterback, Michael? You're going to bring him back on a one-year deal under these circumstances after you openly flirted with Deshaun Watson when he's clearly broken up by this whole thing? Nah. He can't come back under these circumstances. So Mitchell Trubisky, Carson Wentz, it don't matter. It ain't going to be Baker Mayfield. Not under these circumstances.
Interesting. Got to do what's best for the franchise, Andrew Berry. Do what's best for the team. Hey, thanks for watching Brother from Another on YouTube. Make sure you hit subscribe before you leave, and be sure to watch us 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Time on Peacock. Appreciate you.